Okay. Let me go back to click on subnets here. Okay, so I have already couple of subnets available here. Probably I'll take you there. So similarly, we have seen for the other ones in the earlier case, like creating VPC. Here, this is the. I mean, let me go back once again. Okay, one second. See all regions. Let's see. Okay, so all the subnets, what I see here are, tagged in this particular location. So you have so many, it has, there in so many regions, the subnets. But let me go to the subnet. When I click on subnet, it will take me to the VPC because it will tag to VPC, right? Always. So you would be creating one subnet here. Let's say create a subnet. So you'll come to this create subnet page. You would be giving some information like how to identify like subnet of your maybe application, right? So you would be choosing the VPC here. Let's say whatever it comes here in that particular region, and availability zone that you can choose is, I mean, whatever the availability zones which is coming here, 1A, 1B, 1C within the Southeast Asia. And you can go and see a blog. So this you can put it as that information, like you can choose that information whether it is a bar 16 or bar 24, that you can give this information and create subnet. So you would be creating that subnet for that particular VPC, right?
So you can only
So
have you can only have by 16 or by 24. Is there any other number, or is just those two numbers?
these are the only two numbers
Okay,
as
okay,
I
okay.
see. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
It
but I
must
saw
be,
it 28.
yeah. So it must be between 16 and 28. You can choose
Okay.
anything within that range.
Oh,
If you go beyond that, I think that will not be considered as a valid IP address.
okay, okay.
Yeah. I'll cancel it here. I'll not go and
Yeah.
create it. Okay. This is creating the subnets in the public and private, and we came to again the knowledge checkpoint. A subnet can, there are four options again. Can you help to take this question, Patrick?
A subnet can span multiple availability zones, can span multiple zones, can provide IP address by default only by map to only is D.
True. So this is a straight answer that we have, looked into
Yeah.
the previous slides. Yeah. And the next section or the slide, we'll talk about internet gateways, using internet gateways in Amazon VPC, how internet gateways will work and what it does, that we'll understand in this slide. So internet gateways, we know like if you have WAN and the LAN information, the gateway is the one which will connect you to the LAN information and get that information from your WAN, right? So if you look at this typical, the workflow or the diagram, um, uh, from your WAN, you have the internet gateway, you have the LAN and Wi-Fi information that you are connecting to some wireless terminals, and this is your application which was hosted, and you will get all this information from the internet gateway. So internet gateway will help you to connect to the horizontally scaled applications, or highly available VPC component that communicate between any number of instances also, you can say, right? So VPCs can be multiple, it can't be one. You can have one, but you can have multiple VPCs also, and you can even connect to the internet from the internet gateway, right? So there, because we know, like, there won't be any kind of security breach or any kind of a risk that you would be having it, or bandwidth constraints on the network traffic system. So,
Uh,
mhm, yeah,
I know this question might sound stupid. So
no
from what
problem.
we are discussing about the network here,
Hmm.
does AWS, can they provide wireless network,
No, no,
wireless internet?
AWS will not provide wireless internet. But what I said, you
No,
have this
no,
internet gateway. Hmm.
yeah, it's just that you've not said it. It's just that from what we've been discussing, and I'm seeing like all what the VPC has as capabilities, and I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking, why is it that it cannot provide wireless internet?
I think they're not the internet providers. They are the cloud providers, and given the security and all this stuff, they are not internet providers by any chance. So they take, when they connect it to the like a WAN, and when you have this internet gateway, which you can connect all your LAN and Wi-Fi when you're connecting to the cloud. So the internet gateway is, horizontally scaled. You can have multiple this kind of a setup, right? You can have multiple setups, like, your particular LAN information. So we are talking only about internet gateway. We are not talking about the wireless terminals, which are, accessing the information, or connecting to the your internet here. It's just only the gateway that we are talking about here. You can have the similar set of internet gateways for multiple set of the setup which we have it here, right? So, but what we are talking typically here is internet gateway in terms of the networking terminology, or what we are discussing so far, all the networking terminology. It is horizontally scaled, and highly available to VPC component at any time. You can get that information over the internet gateways. That is the intention of this slide, which is, talking about. It's not talking about, any kind of internet provided by the Amazon to the end users. No. Is that answered your question, Patrick?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
I always take some seconds because I have to unmute myself.
Sure, no problem. Yeah. Okay, so coming to the next one. So this is again, the similar kind of a setup, internet gateway diagram, with your VPC within your AWS and the internet gateway. And this is the internet provider, let's say for some example, like a XYZ or whatever it is. The gateway will connect to the internet, and provide that network connectivity within your public subnet and private subnet within that availability zone. Okay. Mm, okay. Coming to the next slide here, internet gateway requirements. So what are the requirements of the internet gateway when we are connecting to the internet in the cloud environment? It must be attached to your VPC. Internet gateway, as we have seen in the previous slide, it must be attached to the VPC application, or the server, what private cloud server, right? All instances in your subnet must have either a public or private or elastic address. So without the IP addresses, you'll not be in a position to connect to any of the instances in subnet. And your subnet's route table must point to the internet gateways. So this also we have seen that subnet when we are creating it. So we have seen that it'll like we have to select the internet gateway to which IP address it will be tagged to that subnet, and all the network access control and security group rules must be configured to allow the required traffic to and fro from your instance. So it's always like when you have the IP addresses for your VPC or any kind of a systems the through gateway, so it will always you have the request which is going from one system to another system. It always have a to and flow for the information which is passing. So one system might be requesting something from the system 2, and the system 2 would be responding back to the system 1 or the server 1, what you call it here. So there will be always to and flow traffic which is happening between the servers. Okay, demonstrate how to create internet gateways. Okay. I'll talk about gateways here. So why I had chosen API gateway here is so you would be connecting all your gateways from one IP address to the another IP address using the API call. So this is the REST API if you wanted to go with. So you would be creating REST APIs, and you need to have the REST APIs. How do you do that? And you can build all those things, and you can create the custom APIs and deploy the application into the cloud. And coming to the knowledge check point again, an internet gateway allows the following four answers or the choices.
An internet gateway allows internet access to your VP as soon as you attach to it.
Hmm.
Yes, that's A.
Okay.
But I know we have talked about the subnet, which is D, but I go with A at the moment.
Okay, so in the previous diagram, if you look at, there is an internet gateway, and it
Yeah,
communicates to your instances and VPCs which are there in your like a VPC, right? So which are the
yeah.
instances which are there in your VPC. So the B is the right answer here. It will connect to only to your instances within your VPC and the internet.
Okay,
Yeah. So internet is the one here. Gateway is the middle layer, and it will connect to your instances which are there in the availability zones. So B is the correct answer.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.